live. And I've got it together today. Hey everybody, Jessica Alstrom here with your Jedi Mind Hack for the day. And I think this one's going to be perfect for those of you guys who are actually going to creep out tonight or this weekend. We are telling your powers. Okay, hello. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. All right, I won't keep you because I know it's Friday. But I do want to give you a little Jedi Mind Hack. Hello again. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me every day. I'm going to try to keep this one a little shorter because, I just can't shut up. So our Jedi Mind Hack of the day, I think this one's going to be fun for you guys, is when you really start to kind of remember that you are spirit, right? Having a physical experience. And you're going to realize that you don't have to be led by the atmosphere or the energy that you find yourself in. What happens a lot of times with sensitive people and empaths is, we like our social battery gets zapped very fast, or we get our feelings hurt, or we walk into a room with a bunch of negativity and we all of a sudden have this weird anxiety, and it makes us believe that we don't want to be around people. Right? I even suffered from this for a long time. It's like, I love everyone, but I loathe people. And you probably can relate to that. But ultimately, one person who is really in their intention, grounded in their body, with a deregulated nervous system, can not only control the vibration of an entire room, right? But an entire situation, regardless of the energy that is happening. So if you've ever had that experience where you have walked into a room and it's like immediately there's like, you can cut the tension with a knife, right? And it's just like uncomfortable, or you can kind of see like some drama breaking out over there. But you don't want to keep leaving everywhere and hiding in your house, because you guys are going to see that we're in the very end of a very long spiritual war. And it's not about good or bad. It is about fear and love. And we cannot keep having these amazing hearts and being afraid all the time or being angry all the time, because it is just destroying your body. And it is destroying your chances of evolving, no matter how intellectually intelligent you are when it comes to spiritual knowledge. At the end of the day, if you are being led by fear, you are not evolving. You will not become enlightened, because fear is the absence of God. And so when you remember that you are a child of God, so you not only have the direct connection, but you are made in the image of, which means that you have all of the power that God has, but no one taught you how to use your technology. Okay, no one taught you how to utilize your kind of trinity that creates that focal point of the force, which is that 4-point energy simulation of my spirit is driving me, not the spirit of fear, but the spirit of love. And then I'm thinking the thoughts that resonate with that. I'm feeling the feels, and I'm animating my body. That is when you are channeling the force. When you are channeling fear, you get into the scenario thinking, you're getting into assumptions, you're playing out different situations. Right now you're into fight or flight, you're feeling anxiety come on, you're feeling frustration come on. And I will get into some other videos about what it actually does to your body. Is it starts to produce way too much cortisol, especially when you don't do anything with adrenaline, right? Adrenaline gives you 600 times strength. And when you sit in adrenaline, it literally eats away your gut, it eats away your organs, because you're not doing anything with it. You're not running from a tiger, but you're having the same kind of nervous system fight or flight as if you were. So if you can feel that coming on, okay, I'm going to give you like what we would call kind of like a push of energy, where you can create a vibration in your body, and then you're going to send it into the room. And what's really cool about this is, as you practice it, you're going to see how powerful you are. Because a lot of the times with the spiritual concepts, you're having to kind of go on faith. You can't really see a lot of things, especially healing isn't always instant. But the more more of a relationship you build with your body, and the more you realize how your technology actually works, the more success you're going to have, the more confidence you're going to have, the more, self-esteem you're going to build. Because really, accessing your superpowers is nothing more than practicing. That's it. Like I said, made in the image, and your DNA is like waiting for you to tell it that it is supernatural, that it is superhuman, so that it can begin to alter and change. So this is a good beginner's practice, especially if you have somewhere to go this weekend and you're kind of dreading it because there's people, right? And we know people like drama, and especially people who are not conscious, right? They're going to kind of spew it everywhere, but you can also feel it. And sometimes you don't know what you're feeling, but you feel it. So what you're going to do first and foremost is, let's say you walk into a space, or you walk into a Walmart if you have to do that, or any space, and you can already kind of feel that your body is going through a PTSD response of I don't want to be here, there's too many people. Your body doesn't see outside of you. And so all it is sensing the environment. And if it happens to smell or feel or sound familiar to it, it's going to assume and prepare, even if you're I'm fine. Okay. So what you've got to do is you've got to be the voice that your body is listening to, instead of trying to push it off, or I need a cocktail, I need some liquid courage. Do this instead. All right. So what you're going to do is, first and foremost, if you can start to feel elevated, or you start to feel the emotion of the space, someone's angry or irritated, and you find yourself getting kind of irritated, you want to realize, number one, look at your posture. Because if you are feeling anything in this space whatsoever, if you feel anyone's anger, if someone's crying, you start getting sad, look at your posture. Because the thing about you is you are a vortex. And when your shoulders are in like this, you are literally sucking energy to you. You're pulling everyone's vibration in. And notice how we tend to be like this when we're not that comfortable. Our head is forward, right? So we are literally creating a vacuum of energy. And your heart chakra will begin to take on all of those frequencies in this space. You'll be able to feel it all. Don't do that. All right. And what you want to do is you want to put your shoulders back and get into the right posture. Okay, what this is going to do now is going to open your heart chakra, and it's going to start allowing the energy that you have to move out into the space. Okay, and it's also going to stop the vortex of everything sucking into you. And then you're going to regulate your vagus nerve. That's going to help you rebalance your fight or flight, even if you are stressed. Because you can bypass anything with taking back your breath, taking back control. So if you can start to feel yourself getting elevated, we're going to deregulate the nerve system and the vagus nerve by doing 3 breaths. That is in the nose and out through the mouth with a sigh. Sigh, 3 times. You might have to walk over there if you feel like you look crazy, whatever. Go over there and do it. 3 in and 3 sighs. This is going to regulate your nervous system and put you back into a regulated state where your body feels, okay, I'm safe again. I'm safe again. Then what you're going to do is you're going to decide what vibration you would like to bring to this party. Okay, maybe you're not super social. I'm kind of both. I can be on or off, but most of the time, I like to observe. But decide, would you like to have this room full of joy? Would you like to have love everywhere? You could decide. And I would also say, pick the one that is your, that you would say you shine at, that you rock. If you are a lover, then go with the love. If you are silly and goofy, go with the joy, right? Go with a higher vibe. And what you do is, when you get deregulated, which means you're centered and grounded, your body feels safe, it's listening to you, you are the captain of this ship, right? You have gotten yourself back into the right posture, so you're not taking on everybody's stuff. Now what you do is you imagine all of, if you're going with joy, all of your most joyful moments. That's it. You're going to imagine. And I would recommend putting your right hand on your heart, even if you're just like, right? Because it's going to bring your attention to your heart chakra, and it's going to help you stay focused on the exercise so you don't get distracted with everyone else's thoughts. Okay, you're going to be able to stay with this. You're going to kind of hold on to your heart, and you're going to start thinking of all of your most joyful moments. Or if you're wanting to love bomb this room, which I highly recommend, then you're going to start thinking of, those moments that just take your breath away, like your child's birth, or, just a monumental moment for you. And you're going to like really remember that, which means you're going to tune out the entire space and get really inwardly focused. And you can kind of like walk around if you don't want to stand there looking, whatever. You can kind of do this and walk around. You can go to the bathroom and do this if you want. But you're going to set the intention for this particular space. And then once you feel like you've generated enough of those memories, right, then you're gathering that frequency, because a picture in your house, a memory in your head, it has a frequency. And you can pull from it anytime you want, because your body is the pharmacy, and it has everything stocked that you've ever experienced. From every Tylenol you've taken to every corn dog you've eaten, your body has a memory, and you can pull the frequency if you choose. And in this moment, we're pulling the frequencies from our storage, right? That they come with the feeling, the vibration, the energy, right? And anything above boredom starts to kind of rev in a higher energy field that's going to be a lot stronger than even anger and frustration, believe it or not. So as you kind of generate these feelings, now you're going to kind of see where you feel like it's mostly coming from. Like, oh, it's over there, that over there. And you're not going to be judging. This is not a judging, like, oh, because this won't work if you're judging at all. Judgment is fear. So if you are in judgment of the situation, this won't work for you. Okay, just saying. What we do in our classroom is we replace all judgment with what we call curiosity. We get curious. Okay, first instinct is like, ugh, right? But hold on a second. Let me look at that. Let me get curious. What must they be going through to be angry like that? Did they have a rough day, right? Like whenever I'm on the highway driving and someone just like has to cut you off, and I'm with my son, and I don't have road rage. So we always make up a really funny story of why this guy had to cut us off. Like he's got diarrhea or something. Like we always make it really funny so that we're never like triggered by someone just like running us off the road. We always make up a funny story. So you want to get curious, because if you're in judgment, just go home, because you are the same vibration of the room. But getting curious, well, see, now you're kind of like, ooh, really, what could have put them in such a bad mood? And then you're kind of playing in that energy. Now you're getting in the inner child realm where you're curious, okay? Not nosy, you're not making up assumptions. You're just curious. But you go, you know what, whatever they're going through, again, it's been a long day, it's been a long week, and we all want to play here. We all want to enjoy this time. So we're going to, now from this energy, you're going to imagine like a rocket, almost like it's revving. And then you're just going to imagine pushing it into the room. Okay. And that's it. No one's going to see what you're doing, because you can't see energy, at least what people that, are not clairvoyant. And you're going to send it out. Now, depending on what mindset you are, right? If you are in a chill, relaxed, observant, calm, now joyful or now loving vibration, you're not necessarily going to care what happens in the room. But let's say you do this 3 times over a 15-minute period. You will be able to feel the difference in the room. Because one of the things the Matrix, it programs us to be is weak, okay? Powerless, disempowered. Okay, and unless you're having like a kick-ass day and you had some great news and you just got paid, or you look amazing right after the gym, do you have the confidence to like walk in a room and change the vibration? Probably not, because the Matrix teaches you that you are a weak, vulnerable, mortal human. And until you start to prove that wrong, you might buy into that, And I'm going to tell you, that is a very boring reality, because everywhere you go right now, we are at the end of this systems. Like Rome is falling, you guys. Like it's falling. And so that's going to give people a lot of mixed emotion. Those who have no idea what's going on, they're still going to feel something brewing in the air, especially around election times, right? People get kind of crazy and weird. And you want to be the eye of the storm. You want to be the center of that universe. You want to be the deliberate creator of that vibration. And the more that you practice this is also really good practice. Like, let's say Thanksgiving dinner, right? And someone's talking about politics and you're just like, oh, right? And so you're just sitting there sipping on your, whatever, apple cider, and all of a sudden everyone's laughing. And the coolest thing about this is our bodies are the most amazing biocomputers in the universe. And when I used to go on tour before COVID, we had these quantum kind of like Tesla devices, and we would create like a pyramid in our big, our big tour place, and we would anchor these points in so we could change the frequency of the room, right? And this is all mind control, guys. Hello. And so we would show people how easy it was for us to change their mind. Okay. So like sometimes right before lunch break on the 3-day event, we would put we would sync all three of these devices up to like cannabis frequency. And then within 10 minutes, the room was laughing, giggling, everybody's got the munchies from frequency. And now this particular technology was scalar energy, but guess what you are? Scalar energy, which means it passes through, permeates. It literally moves through, just like ether. And so when you realize how powerful you are, you're not going into a space to manipulate it, because your God power won't work that way. I mean, you could definitely make it worse, right? How many times have you walked into a room, someone's in a bad mood, and now you're in a bad mood, okay? Because you walked in to the dark force, and instead of being the change, you adapted to it. Now, we learn how to do that in childhood so that we don't get rejected and abandoned from our families. We adapt to the space, right? We become what we need to become to survive. But when you get older, you've got to realize how programmed you are to blend in and to kind of hide. But by doing that, you've got to be influenced. And I always use the cigarette smoke analogy, because I grew up, my mom was a chain smoker. And it was really like awkward, because when I would go to school, they all thought that I was a smoker, because I would like put my hair in a bun wet. I would like take my clothes in a bag to school. So like, they would be fresh from the washer, and it was still in there. And so you have to look at energetic frequencies like cigarette smoke. It doesn't matter if you smoke or not. If you are influenced by it and you buy into it and you give attention to that, then you will become it, at least for the evening. Okay. And that has been something that probably all of us have experienced, getting our evening ruined because someone was wanting to be in some drama. All right. And so we can either be victims, or we can be in the golden age where we are starting to realize the cosmology of our own technology and start get with the program. Because this is literally one of hundreds of thousands of little tricks I could give you guys. But one more I want to give you, because I think this is also good. When you know you're going to go into a space where there's a potential for you to get programmed by, the hypnosis of the matrix. Like, let's say you walk into a sports bar and there's 25 TVs playing, and you're not really a TV watcher, but you want to watch the game. The World Series is on tonight, right? On the two coasts. Interesting. Anyways, so that is like, there's going to be some subliminal in the commercials. There's going to be some undertones. There's going to be some symbols that your subconscious mind is looking at and downloading that are actually all negative in nature, that you have no idea what you're actually looking at, okay? That's going to happen. So what you can do is, you want to live, you want to be human, you want to have a human experience, so you just tell your body, right? You tell your body, we do not download any subconscious information, and give yourself 6 hours. Your body's like, got it. Now what you can do is you can take these 3 fingers, you can tap on the back of your neck, right, for 20, 30 seconds, and this will create and generate a force field so that you're not taking in data, because this is where you take it in. And that's why in the Matrix, this is where the plug was. Okay, so you can do that. But you can literally voice command this thing. And just because you can't see the instantaneous results does not mean it's not happening, because when you speak, you are the voice of God and your body is the servant. Okay, your ego is the servant. The negative entities that get on you are actually in service to you. So you have so much more power than you have any clue of. And if you don't start playing with this and practicing this, you will stay small and you will like wait for change. And one thing that, we studied in quantum fitness was when you wait, right, you will be waiting forever, and then you will become weighted, because what you wait for is waiting on you, because you are a creator. And this isn't a simulation where you can wait for someone else to do it, right? Because we know that Jesus is coming in all of us this time. We're the second coming. And so instead of waiting for one really amazing dude who was able to love unconditionally, we've got to suit up, right? And realize that the revolution that we're walking into is how loving you can become. Because yeah, we're at war, but the only weapon you have is love. And the only ammunition you have is kindness and grace and understanding and compassion and curiosity. Because the more you judge, the more you are part of the problem. The more afraid you are, the more part of the problem you are. Because what you believe, you create. What you see and observe and give energy to gets bigger. That's why they want you to look at all this negative stuff. This is why all the P. Diddy stuff is everywhere, because they want you to look at it so it gets bigger, okay? What you want to do is you want to look at that and say, I'm going to send love to that, because I don't want my grandchildren to have to deal with these kind of things, and keep it moving, right? And really scale back on what you are allowing in your field, because you might not be negative in nature or fearful in nature. But if you hang around fearful people and you take in fearful information, just like a chain smoker, you will become fearful. So I hope you guys try this trick, and please give me some comments on this and let me know like what you noticed throughout the evening. And also you can go to my YouTube channel. I've got some giveaways coming up at the beginning of next week that I'm putting together for you guys, because I know I'm like on your feed every day now. And I just want you guys to have as many tools from the toolbox, from the quantum toolbox, as you possibly can. Because, do I have all the right ways? No, but it's like we might as well all put our tools in one box at this point, because we're going to need all of them for the direction that we're heading. And we are heading into that revolution of love, where we are going to have to trade in that judgment and that bitterness and resentment and that guilt and that shame and all of the things you associate with from your past, and you're going to transcend that basically back into self-compassion and self-love. And when you reach that point, that is when the body starts doing exactly what you tell it to do. You can change the frequency of food you put in your body. You can change the frequency of a room, right? So you will not feel disempowered anymore, one little tiny human, when you are actually like true badass and you are immortal and just like incredible. You'll learn. You're going to get this. So the more you practice that, the more confidence you have, because until you have embodied it, you don't really know it. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you mañana. Bye. Okay, and now.